At just 5 years old, he lost his family when a train carried him nearly 2,000 kilometres across India. He would have lived the rest of his life a homeless beggar on the streets of Calcutta, if not for a loving Australian couple who adopted him. But Saroo never forgot his birth mother, and 20 years later began a search for her. It was a task everyone thought was impossible, but not Saroo. In the swirling mass of humanity that is India, a nation of 1.2 billion people and countless towns, Saroo Brierley is looking for one tiny house in a nondescript village, searching for his Indian family. And to do it, he's using Google Earth.
It's like, how can I use these images in my memory to get myself back to my family, or at least try and find the town that I was from, for starters.
The year is 2006, 19 years after Saroo arrived in Australia.
There's no knots in the chain before you test it?
Well, you can see.
By day, the 25-year-old would work with his dad John and brother Mantosh at the family business in Hobart.
That's a nice job.
At night, Saroo would go online. He'd spend hours, sometimes not sleeping at all, searching for a needle in a haystack.
So you were following these lines?
Yes, I did, and it was sort of a stab in the dark, this place here. And I zoomed down and I tried to find a railway line.
It's a big place, it really is, and he was so little.
Sue and John Brierley adopted Saroo when he was 6.
Hand on heart, did you ever truly think Saroo would find his birth mother?
Well, I really wanted him to, so I just willed my heart to be with him in success.
But there was a part of you thinking, there's no way.
You didn't really think he had an earthly chance of finding his family.
Calcutta was a starting point.
But Saroo was obsessed. Methodically, he traced every railway track out of Calcutta. It was a painstaking process of elimination that took Saroo down hundreds, thousands of dead ends. And he didn't just spend weeks or months looking. Saroo kept up the hunt for 6 years.
I'd been searching for such a long time that it's just like, you know, what else can I do and where else can I go?
Then, late one night, he traced a single line into India's remote central western region.
When I picked this railway line, I thought I'd just have a go at it and just started tracing it.
Saroo was close, very close. Landmarks suddenly flashed between the screen and his memory. A bridge near a dam. A water tower. A station with 3 platforms.
At about 2 o'clock, I found it. And
You just found it?
just like that.
Khandwa, 1,800 kilometres from Calcutta, where Saroo's one-way train ride ended up. Could this really be his hometown? There was only one way to know for sure. Saroo made the potentially heartbreaking journey halfway around the world. The boy inside led him along the old streets of his childhood.
I had people talking to me in my head. Is this the right place? Even though your legs are taking you on the road that, you know, you used to walk 25, 26 years ago, I was almost at a point where I said to myself, this isn't the place.
Eventually, Saroo found where he had once lived. But there was no house, just a pile of rubble.
I just, you know, put my hand on my face and just thought, perhaps the worst is actually what's happened, and they're not there anymore. Perhaps my sister's been sold off. Perhaps my brothers are all dead. Perhaps my mother's dead too.
But then a stranger recognised Saroo's childhood photo.
And then that person said, "Come with me, I'll take you now to your mother."
A few steps covered a lifetime. There, at the end of a lane, after 26 years, Saroo's mother, Fatima.
You'd found her.
It was such a shock.
You'd really found her.
She came forward and we hugged, and I think she was in as much, if not more, shock as I was.
What was that moment like when she first touched you?
It was just so comforting. It was just such a long time since, she held me, and for her it was just, I saw you once and you disappeared, and now you've returned like a ghost. How could this ever happen?
At 66, Fatima's warmth and kindness seemed to defy the toughness of her life. Much of it spent in hard labour, carrying bricks on construction sites.
You never gave up hope that he was alive.
I knew it in my heart. In fact, my children always told me to leave this neighborhood and move. But I said, how can I ever go away? When my son comes back, this is where he'll have to find me.
You can never underestimate a mother's love, can you?
It's so powerful, and having her next to me is just great. It's the best.
Fatima, when Saroo didn't come home all those years ago, what did you think?
It was devastating. I wish the earth would just open up and swallow me. I missed my son. I was like a mad woman.
But the joy of reunion is tempered by the heartbreak of loss. Finally, Saroo learns why his older brother Guru never came back for him that day. Police had discovered his body near the railway line, mangled from the impact of a train.
How did you take that news when you heard that Guru had died that day?
It was the biggest shock that I could have ever had. It was I sort of found it hard to believe, really. Sometimes I think, was it my fault?
Had you spent all those years believing in the bottom of your heart that he was still alive and looking for you?
Yeah. I did. I don't think he would have been a guy that would have given up. He was just like my mother.
For all the sadness, there is so much to celebrate. Saroo is reunited with his surviving brother Kalu and his family.
Kalu, nice to meet you. Your big brother.
This is my eldest brother.
And his younger sister, Shakila.
Sister here.
Hello. Last time you saw each other, you were 2 years old.
So I had to take care of her. So I always thought about her and how she was going.
But Saroo's family reunion isn't complete quite yet.
I think they're happy to see you.
I think so.
Back in Hobart, Sue is preparing to fly to India for the first time.
How can you thank a woman for what we've enjoyed all these years and what she missed out on? But I'm really going to try and share some of what we had with her son as our son.
How did you find out that he'd found her?
He sent us a text in the middle of the night one night. Oh, it was just, big. It was big. We just sort of leapt out of bed.
You didn't get much sleep that night.
It was just, like we'd won the lottery, really.
In all their life together, there has never been a ride quite like this.
So this is the village where Saroo spent the first 5 years of his life.
Yeah, this is big. This is an experience that I never, ever dreamt I would be having. It's going to be great.
I'm so excited for you, Sue.
Filled with nerves, nothing can prepare Sue for this moment.
I'll take it. You can hold on to it. Everything's fine. I'm a big boy. This is my mother, Kamala. Kamala, this is my mother, Sue.
बस करो बस नहीं रोते तुम्हारा बेटा है इतना बड़ा ये देखो इतना बड़ा बेटा है मेरा जिगर के टुकड़े को बहुत परेशान.
He is your son. Take good care of him.
Fatima had always hoped that somehow, somewhere, Saroo was being cared for, even loved.
What's it like to look into the eyes of the woman who gave birth to Saroo?
It's very hard. Very hard. But we're just happy to have the moment that just by miracle this has happened.
And this moment helps Sue heal a quiet hurt that she's carried for 26 years. That somewhere, a mother's been mourning the loss of her son.
So I need to know, did you always believe Saroo was still alive?
सरू जिंदा है और आएगा.
I always knew in my heart that not only was he alive, that he would come back to me one day. That either he would come back to me or I would find him. I always knew this in my heart.
Because even though I prayed at night to send the message, I didn't really know.
But watch your head, Mum.
Sue and Fatima will forever be in each other's lives because of the love they share for Saroo.
बहुत मुसीबत काटे मेरे बच्चों ने.
And for now, there is so much to catch up on.
So, Saroo, very little, few months in Australia, starting school. A graduation, finishing secondary school.
Very good.
Well, these are the two women who helped shape the man you are today.
It was just like, this is the mother that had given me birth, and this is the mother that gave me a second chance in life.
For Saroo, it has been a long way home. And with plans for him to help educate his nephews and nieces, as well as buy Fatima a new house, Saroo's new journey in life with his two mothers has only just begun.
Do you see yourself as an incredibly lucky person?
you know, I couldn't be any more happier than what I am today, and I couldn't be wishing for anything else. What I have now is what I wanted for a long time, and that's it for me.